So I travel a lot. I travel. I cover almost all regions in Nigeria. So, sir, the first question I will ask you is the campaign season, and for me, do you think your spread is in the far north? Like this is like Yobe, Sokoto, Bauchi, and Zamfara, apart from Abuja, Lagos, maybe Port Harcourt, and some of the southwestern and western states. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here in Port Harcourt, and I'm happy to be associated with the Khikers Club. I've known this club for more than a year now, and I was told by K that this is your first anniversary here.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With regards to spread,
Yes.
spread is a function of need. If Nigerians are in need of good governance, they will look for it wherever they are. And these people you are talking about, the far north, are in need of good governance more than any part of Nigeria right now. The spread that we like to define as spread is the transactional politics of our politicians. They manufacture it whenever elections are coming. They don't take into need assessment of people. They don't care about them. That is why the moment elections are over, you never see the crowds again. You don't see the rallies again. You don't see town hall meetings again. You only see poverty, disease, and terrorism. So I don't think there's anybody anywhere in Nigeria at this point who can claim that they don't know what I represent. Before I came here to Port Harcourt, I was in court, just minding my business as usual. And who was there? A female student from BUK was being arraigned by the EFCC for abusing the EFCC. For the first time, I heard that the EFCC can be libeled criminally, an organization. And we went there and assisted her. EFCC, as soon as I left the court, and posted something about her situation, EFCC had no option than to withdraw the charges. Unfortunately, she's still in prison because the judge refused to show up on Friday. She was sent to prison on Thursday. By Friday, we had ended it. Why am I telling you? That is the spread of justice that we want. There's nobody who wants a leader who doesn't care about them just simply because he has the ability to spread poverty or pain or sorrow. That's not the kind of spread we want. There's no leader of my age in Nigeria that's traveled as far as I've traveled in Nigeria. I traveled by road around Nigeria in 2018 and 2019 when I first ran. I went to Zamfara. I drove from Zamfara to Sokoto. I drove from Sokoto to Kebbi. I drove from Kebbi to Kano in the middle of the night. Most of the places I went to in that time, nobody can travel along those roads anymore. They have been taken over by terrorists, bandits, and they've been abandoned by the government. So it's about speaking about the issues on how to bail people out of the terrible situations they have found themselves. That should be spread. Spread should be about ideas, not rice. Even the rice they are distributing does not spread to the north, by the way. That's the most important conversation we should be having.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So if we have 6, please. If you want to ask a question, please kindly raise up your hand, please.
So, good evening, everyone. Yeah, Mr. Sowore, you've been contesting since 2018, and in 2018 you got 33,000 votes. In 2023, you got 14,000 votes, less than 20,000. In 2027, considering the fact that the majority of us Nigerians are not ready, what continues to motivate you? Because I personally, I love you so much, but I also think you're wasting your time. You understand? Your family are abroad and they need you so much. Your children, I personally cannot. So what continues to motivate you for coming out for these unserious people? people that are not ready for change, people that are not ready to that are still continue to support their oppressors. I just came here today to ask you this question. I'm happy to see you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, I happen to have started this early in life. And I remember when we were in the University of Lagos, it was the same complaints. Nigerians are not ready for democracy. We are unserious people. In fact, they used to call those of us in student union layabouts. That the reason we were doing student unionism was because we did not want to face our studies. But we were way ahead of our time. And we stood our necks out and fought for democracy. The democracy that, well, it's debatable if you are enjoying it. Yes, it is debatable if you are enjoying the democracy we fought for. In fact, those of us who fought for democracy cannot recognize democracy we fought for anymore. But with regards to the numbers don't represent our aspiration. They don't represent the feelings of our people. Those are the numbers allocated by the system to make you lose interest in your liberation, because they want to keep referring to what Sowore got. They did the same thing to Gani Fahimi. They allocated numbers to him, and the people who had no ideas had the highest numbers. The people with the brightest ideas had the lowest numbers. But the question you should ask yourself is Nigeria better today by those who got 10 million votes? That's the question you should ask yourself. And why am I still doing this? I always say that I think people are built differently, and we are all built to do different things in life. My destiny is to make the world a better place, I believe. And I always wake up, whatever it will cost, I do the best I can, and I go to sleep feeling very good that I've done the best I can on that particular day. As per whether Nigerians are serious or not, well, that's also debatable. I've not met a Nigerian who doesn't want a better life. I have not met just one, not even a gatesman or a cook who doesn't want a better life. But you must also admit that this is exactly what the oppressors want, to make everybody feel dejected, such that they will not even think about a better future. They want all of us to give up. But we mustn't give up on Africa's most populous nation. Some of the best place you can live is Nigeria, even as bad as things are. I'm looking at this room, as I always tell Kay, some of the most great-looking people are in this room. How are you guys surviving Nigeria? How do you look good like this? How do you make it through the day? To the point that when we see this club, it gives us hope that Nigeria can become a better place in the future. And one of the things I said to this club, which was what I said the last time, when somebody asked me about a question, almost a similar question, like, oh, don't you think we need experienced people? And I look at the room and said, if you look into this room, I can find all my 42 ministers. Yes. The person who can handle finance is in this room as we are speaking. Yes. A great minister of health is in this room as we are speaking. There's a guy who knows about the value chain that can be added to agriculture to get food security. There are some security experts, both physical, cyber security experts in this room. I am not saying this to patronize you. It is the truth. But you must be ambitious about saving your country. That is what drove me to the edge all the time when you see me in prison or I'm being beaten up. Is the ambition to live in a country I can be the best in the world. Even if I don't achieve it in my lifetime, I hope others will be inspired to not let go during their own time.
Thanks, sir. Okay, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Adamu Ambata. Sir, my question is, with the abundant natural resources in states like Zamfara, I'm from the north, I'm from Kano. Firstly, thank you. I saw what you did for Mariam when Abba Hikima contacted you. You've done a very, very good job to Mariam and the likes of her. With states like Zamfara, with abundant natural resources, particularly gold, whereby most of the northern politicians, or I say the Nigerian politicians, are getting chunk of money from there. What will you do if God, in his own wisdom, make you the president of Nigeria? How can the Nigerian populace enjoy that gold? and how can you make the environmental impacts of the mining be better than what it is now? Thank you.
Quick question I want to ask you is, do they know Sowore and Zamfara, where you come from?
No, I'm from Kano.
Do you know Sowore and Kano?
Yes, sir.
So that question is answered, the man at the back. The spread is there already. So the problem with resource in Nigeria is a cost that comes with resource. But in reality, there's no cost that comes with resource. It's the men who are mining and selling and profiting from resource. That's exactly the men and women that are the cause. The problem with gold in Zamfara is that some persons, which you and I know, who were senior military officers now retired, are the ones who are mining the gold. In addition to their friends from China, and now I'm aware the US wants to lay their hands on it, because gold in the US is not referred to as gold anymore. They call it rare earth minerals. And it includes lithium, anywhere, anything that brings money. So anybody who wants to resolve the problem must be someone who have the courage to confront them. The same way you confront the thieves in Niger Delta region who are stealing oil. Anywhere there's resource in Nigeria, there's a thief. And a big and powerful thief. And they also have international backers. Because one of the things we found out about Zamfara is that every day, and I'm telling you this, you can go find out, there's a flight that goes out of Zamfara in the mining sector, or the mining fields there, that is not tracked. I'm talking about airplanes that go in there to pick. They have airfields or airstrips in Zamfara where they land every day. Sometimes they track as many as 7 of these flights a week. And they are going in there to pick gold. Some of the richest people are from that part of the country today. In fact, I can disclose here, because I'm never afraid to say, the DG to the president, the outgoing president, Tinubu, is one of the richest people in Nigeria today, based on some of these activities we are talking about. So, you need a leader, first, who understands who they are and how to confront them, and who can take the resource that they have, somehow personalize themselves and give it to the people. But you have mentioned a very important aspect of it, which is the environment and what they are doing, the harm they are doing to the environment. One of the things I want to tell you is that in the future, we're also going to be navigating away from just digging the eggs under us consistently, when actually there's an opportunity to transition to green energy, a green era that doesn't depend on rare earth minerals alone, but minerals that have the capability to rejuvenate the earth that we now live on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, John.
I first want to
Louder, please, put the mic.
I first want to appreciate you for all you've been doing as regards your activism and those you've been standing up for. Very good job. Thank you for that. But we all know that the present president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Tinubu, was an activist like you.
It was it.
Oh well, he was part of NADECO, whatever it was called, and we saw what he has degenerated into. And for me personally, activism does not make leadership. The part of you who is an activist is good, and Nigerians appreciate you for that. But I still wonder why you feel you're the only person that can change Nigeria. Your recent backlash on His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, is rather appalling. And I have a very, very, very sincere question to you. If you were not a presidential candidate, assuming you were not a presidential candidate, amongst all the presidential candidates, whom are you going to vote for? Backlashing every other presidential candidate does not make you look good. It makes us feel that you feel that if it's either you or the highway. And I don't believe in that. Personally, me, I will not vote for you. Does not mean you're a bad person. But I will not vote for you because I feel that there is someone out there that can also do the job, who is a presidential candidate, that I want to vote for. So, my question is, I've asked my question.
Thank you.
I have asked I've asked my question, and I said, I'm not complaining for anybody. I asked my question. If he was not a presidential candidate, who else would we have? That's the question. Perhaps you have what's your that's what I
My brother, this guy just called me Sowore and he didn't even ask Mr. to it. Honestly, I appreciate the passion in this question. The reason is that everybody that I've met and I continue to meet want this country to work, and they are looking for some form of solution that is within their own grasp. That's where candidates come from. That's where ideas come from. That's why they keep asking all these questions. But you know, I cannot be boxed into a corner to choose between myself and people who I have worked with, people who have studied, people who have reported upon, who I know has nothing to offer the country. But that does not preclude you from having a candidate. Everybody is entitled to have a candidate, including those who are supporting the candidate that we all agree is a failure. They're entitled to support their candidate. There's no need to blackball anybody to say you must choose between candidates A, B, C. And it is not true that I said I'm not the only person who can run. One of the comments I made here is that I can find 42 people who can be my ministers. There are also people who are better presidential candidates, maybe in this room. But until you express your intention, we can't impose it on you. But as per your candidate that you said you are not going to mention his name, but you said I'm against any candidate, and that's been my position, who has held public position in Nigeria for 8 years, and you did not turn your state to a state that you travel abroad to go and spend vacation. Vice President who was there for 8 years, where they spent 16 billion naira to promote darkness, you cannot expect me to support them. That's my problem with some of you. I am not young as some of you think. I might look young, but at the age of 21, I was a participant in the June 12th election. And I know what our aspirations, our expectations were for the country. If Abiola had been president, I probably would have been a minister at the age of 22, just as Patu Tomi was a minister under Shagari in his 20s. In fact, we should not be discussing some of these characters anymore. Had we made democratic progress? But I want to accept that you have a right to your own candidature or to have a candidate. I'm also at liberty not to support your candidate because our standards are different. Some of you are willing to accept a guy who failed halfway. In fact, the way some of you promote your candidate is that he's a bad guy, but he's not too bad. That's how you promote him. But I cannot accept half mediocrity. One of the biggest, I'll take your question, please. One of the biggest controversy I had was with Khikers over Abia State government. And I criticized, I said, I don't believe in half, what do they call it, progress. And everybody was after me. Then 6 months later, Ariara market went underwater. Nobody wanted to talk about it because they were too ashamed to say it. So please, let's continue to respect our democratic rights to choose whomever we want. I think no matter how bad we feel, our anger should be towards those who failed us and not those who have never failed before or those who are trying or have tried.
My question is not about politics. My question is about religion. And we have rights to religion. Mr. President, I'm not going to call you show. Mr. President, What are you going to do to eradicate religion from our political system? That's one. Number two, how can you ensure that our right of religion should be protected? Because recently, here in Port Harcourt, a man of God, after drinking anointing oil, said God said he should go and burn all the shrines. And they went ahead, burned all the shrines. I'm a traditionalist, and I know they are coming for my own shrine next, and I have to protect myself. Burned all the shrine, that the shrine is the one hindering them. And up till now, the police have not said anything, because I have never seen any day any native doctor burns any church. And if any native doctor had burn any church, the police now would have laid a manhunt. And why is Christians burning our church? When Muslims burn their own churches, they begin to complain. Is it not the same thing? What are you going to do about it? Because I'm taking my protest to 95.1 information. Then I need a lawyer to write a petition. We must make a change, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your first question is how do I remain decisive in my intervention? You mentioned information. What I do first is to get information about anything, and I make sure that the information is likely accurate. And then I also want to thank those of you who, whenever you hear from me, also support, especially digitally, because this is where some of these successes come from, when there is so many of us speaking at the same time about these issues, and never take that for granted. But what is amazing about the information is that the moment you put it out, it develops its own wings, and it keeps flying, and then until it gets to all the necessary people who are affected. Sometimes they pretend as if they are not aware of this information, but they're aware. And the more we push, the more we get results. But most importantly, I am a very decisive person. I have a policy or an attitude to life that sometimes, even when you are engaged in a fight, don't always think you will win. But the real win is not giving up. Yes. And that has worked a lot for me and some of my interventions. You ask what are the three things I will do, but I'm going to appeal to you to let me tell you that Nigeria's problem has gone beyond three things. There are a number of things that have to be done at the same time. They are all interwoven and interlinked. For instance, if I tell you that electricity will be taken care of as one of the things, or education and health, then you ask me about food security, you ask me about human security, next you ask me about infrastructure. In fact, the only person who's likely to become president of Nigeria tomorrow, who will have the most amount of expectation, is myself. If any of these characters become president of Nigeria, some of you will not worry about them because you already know that they fail. They know how to fail. But if it's Sowore, the road has not reached our place, so you promised, and we're expecting the electricity too. We haven't seen. Where's the hospital that Sowore promised? Because the expectation will be higher than your regular politician. So I'm going to do a lot of things at the same time. I'm so happy that you are dealing with someone who can multitask. Yeah. On my way to Port Harcourt, I flew in yesterday. By last night, I was already planning what to do in Port Harcourt. This morning, I've gone to run on the streets. I've been in the gym. I'm here, at Khikers. Most likely this evening, I'll be on a radio show. Who knows? Maybe by tomorrow morning, I'll be in prison. I can handle all of this at the same time. That's why I am. By the way, regarding religion, I have been one of the persons that's critical of religion in Nigeria. And one of the things I would do as president is to separate the state from religion. See, part of our biggest problem is that we have invested so much in religion, and religion has become part of our body. In fact, the truth is that part of the reason why Nigerians have not risen up as fast as they could have is that religion is helping them to calm down. If religion was taken out of the equation, Nigerians would have risen up against the oppressors a long time ago. That is why the churches increase service from Monday to Sunday, so that they can keep calming you down. It's the same thing with the religion of Islam. There's a link and a nexus between these religious leaders and religious activities, so that Nigerians can be just cool down your head. You know, there's a place after here for you. But the truth is that the God that they all serve, or we all serve, let me use that word elegantly, did not create the earth so that you leave it to go up to another place. I have said it controversially that God himself didn't live in heaven. Because the Bible said it, that God came from somewhere to come and create the earth and the heavens. That means he was living in a boys' quarter somewhere. So, if he created the earth and put all these great things in it, he will not expect you to just go to another place without having fulfilled your time here on earth. The Yorubas have a description they say of people who die early. They call it Orun Apapandodo. That means you went to heaven too early. Untimely death. That's how they describe it in Yoruba land. What are they trying to tell you? You are not supposed to die in an untimely manner. So anybody that is telling you that you should die on time, the person should die first. Let him go and come back and tell you how he felt to die early. That is what religion is meant to do anyways to everybody. And I know this is controversial. I do not support anybody burning down your shrine. And I hope God will protect your shrine. I wanted to get you upset. Yes. We are going to ensure that that doesn't happen. I will get personally involved in this. Nobody has the right to burn the place of worship down. Whether the person is a Muslim or a Christian. That is what we call fanaticism that Nigeria hasn't addressed. If we are upset with some Islamic bandits or terrorists who burn down churches, we must be equally upset with with Christian fanatics who burn down shrines. Nobody has a right to prevent anybody from worshiping whomever you want to worship, even if it's a pen. When we talk about democracy, we talk about party processes. The states, wards, local governments have different structures which determines the candidates that they want. But what is most important? Yes. What is most important is the electorate to decide for themselves who their best leaders should be. Not so. In fact, I didn't choose Doris Ogala. Wait, calm down. I used to be chairman of AAC, but since I became the presidential candidate, I've stepped aside as chairman of the party. But I want to say something here, which is, in my view, very important. Why are you guys so upset about Doris Ogala? And you are not and you are not upset about Ademola Adeleke in Osun State, whom all of you were celebrating for winning an election that he had an agreement with Tinubu to defeat and kill 50 people. So you can pick and choose which person you want, who to be upset with. Some of you are not even from Osun State. But we see ourselves on Twitter where we are praising the dancer, Ademola. And if I were to choose between Ademola, that is a darling of some of you, and Doris Ogala, I would choose Doris Ogala. Yes, I'm telling you. Yes. Reason being that there are not enough women in our political system. And anytime, it's not a sentiment. No, it's not a sentiment. But if you have one that can step out there are 36 state governors elected in Nigeria. No woman. The only time a woman was supposed to be elected in Adamawa State, they scuttled it, Binani. Yes. So it's a man's word. They can present a foolish man, but you have a problem with a woman.
You also have a problem with a foolish man.
Yes. Yes. You are entitled to it. But that is where the electorate come into the picture. Are you getting my point? Those of you who are screaming Doris Ogala here, the people you sent to the National Assembly through the Labour Party, they disappeared on you and started supporting Tinubu. Yes, the people you use the Labour Party to send to the National Assembly and different positions in Nigeria in 2023. Where are they today? We are not talking about them. Political parties are political parties. They have their own processes, and you must respect that. And if you don't want a candidate presented by a political party, don't vote for the candidate. Don't talk down on anybody, especially not in Nigeria, where there are some people who are governors in Nigeria who you don't even know their names. Some of them cannot even write their names on a piece of paper. Exactly. So if you want to be upset, let's be upset all together against everybody that is inefficient, ineffective, and probably doesn't look good as much as you want them to look good.
Mr. Sowore, my question for you is, if Nigerians gave you the mandate tomorrow, how would you fund the reforms you are proposing without placing an unbearable burden on ordinary Nigerians?
Okay, well, yeah. So it's like
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Better. Okay, I am Veronica Oburu. I'm also a member of Take It Back movement. I'm here for Mr. President and also for all of us. You know, all this room that we are in, all of us, we are here. It will end here. Most of you that are here, it is orientation. Talk. You come out to the TV, you hear talk. You come out here, you hear talk. No action. I believe in action. I don't believe in words. What is worrying Nigerians is fear. An ordinary man is fear. A man that has money is fear.
What's the question?
The question I want to ask Mr. Sowore is, allow me to talk now. When you had your own session, I did not bump you. Whoever that is talking, I want to drive. I'm driving to my question. Thank you very much. The question now is, how can you, Mr. President, be able to curb Nigerian citizens from fear? Fear is our major problem. That is why we only come to this room and talk. That is why women cannot talk. It is fear. That is why the Electoral Commission, even if you don't cast a vote, they will still bring a number. How can we curb that fear?
Thank you. Hello.
One last question.
My name is Lovebird. Okay, good day everyone. My name is Lovebird. So judging from your history, you've been in politics for the past 37 years. You started from the university as an SUG president. So I want to know, peradventure come next year election and you didn't win. Peradventure, I'm not saying you're not going to win. Are you going to still pursue your political career? Yes.
Thank you very much. I want to start answering from you. My life is not dependent on a political career. My life is dependent on gaining freedom for anybody in this country that I know deserve freedom. And it will come via a political career. I'm probably one of the few political figures you know who does not come in every 4 years. When the elections are over now, whatever is wrong with Nigeria, you are likely to call on me. I'm likely to call on you too. So my life is an active life for social justice. And if peradventure next year they assign a vote to another candidate and I don't win, I will see that as a loss for all of us. And then we will determine how we pursue that political liberation movement. I mean this as a movement politician, not as a regular politician. I mean political activist most importantly. So, but if I do it again, I will still be behind Atiku, who will be running probably another 4 years if he loses. That's a joke, yeah. But I'm just joking, please. What I'm going to answer to Hotibe Andy with regards to INEC delivering free and fair election. Hit the streets. Nobody did. Nobody was willing to do it. They are just looking for mercenaries to do their job for them so that when you get killed, they say nobody sent you. That's all they do.
My question.
Yes, your question is, once again, remind me. Just.
If Nigerians gave you the
Okay,
mandate,
cost of how to pay
would you
for.
fund the reforms you are proposing?
Thank you
without
very much.
ceasing?
So, I'll tell you this. We are in Port Harcourt. Oil companies alone in this Niger Delta region are holding on to $62 billion worth of unpaid royalties. The reason they are not paying it is because the man who is the president of the country is a member of the oil company system. His brother is one of the biggest investors in the oil sector. They won't pay. What they call a liquefied natural gas project. When Buhari came in 2015, the moment they believed that his body language was too strong, they went and brought out $5 billion that was royalty or dividends that was entitled to Nigeria. We are all in this country where the National Assembly came out and said the NNPC stole, this one we didn't make it up, stole 21 trillion naira. You understand? And you keep asking us, where would you get money? There's funds everywhere. But we must wrestle it from the hands of the thieves and use it for the benefit of our people. There's nobody who needs to tell you that the richest owner of property in River State here doesn't plant cocoa. He's not a fisherman. Where do you think he got the money from? He stole it from you. So nobody should tell you that corruption is not a big problem in Nigeria. And one of the ways we can make us all prosper is to take what belongs to people and give it to the people and ensure that a minority, a minuscule minority in the country, does not control the resources that belongs to everybody. So we have more than enough to pay for programs, to pay for salaries, to make Nigerians become, we are the only oil producing country on the number 6 axis that is in poverty the way we are. You go to Angola, they fought wars for 20 years in Angola, they are better off than you. Same oil that we're exporting is what they're exporting. But the most important and interesting thing about Nigeria is that we have more than oil. We have gold. We have silver. They've just discovered huge amount of lithium in Nasarawa State that I heard in value had more money, but it's not even part of what we count as national revenue now because it's in the hands of a few people. The Chinese people are taking lithium out of the country on a daily basis. We are not talking about agricultural products. We have what they call a blue economy in this country. Now, we have other economic models. AI is there. Are you getting my point? So that we can tap into. But I can tell you that with these current leaders you have, their only idea of how to generate revenue is to come to Niger Delta, connive with the NNPC, steal whatever is available, and then mortgage Nigeria's future for loans and loans that even your generation 10 times over cannot pay back.
My name is Adelusi Misiolu Emmanuel, and I want to speak on behalf of students. I come from University of Africa. And
where is that located?
Bayelsa.
Is that private or public?
States.
Okay, state.
Yes. So now I'm in 300 level. I'm entering 400 level next this September. That's coming now. And I'm just looking. What is going to happen to me? The youths are in danger. The unemployment rate is very high. The people that are waiting already before that we're about to graduate, it's scary. Some people might say, go and do NYSC, go and do master. That's just prolonging, stalling unemployment. So
invest in young people. One is education, definitely. But you can't educate people who don't get jobs. It's as bad as not sending them to school. That's why the idea of Tinubu and his wife is that you should go and learn how to fry stuff. You know, whatever it is that they want to fry. It's your destiny they want you actually to fry, nothing else. The food security agenda that we have in our program. I hope, by the way, you guys go and download. I'm the only presidential candidate with an app. It's called Sowore now. You can download it, and all these are there. You can interact with me, interact with others. As a student, if you don't have money, we can loan you data, but you pay. So the local governments, we have real leaders, and they build universities that will be for 2 years. But if you want to go for 4 years, of course, you migrate to 4-year programs. So by the time all of these great things are done, all right, including our intention to turn the waterways into transportation hubs, there's no way you will not have too many jobs. I want to see you be doing 2 jobs and you'll be cursing me and say, Sowore came and gave us too many jobs. I now have too many jobs. I don't have social life anymore. Don't complain.
Thank you. I hope to see you in Ibadan soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me just thank every one of you for coming. Tomorrow, I'm also speaking at the MBA conference. I'm one of the presidential candidates invited. So if you have time between 11 and 1 p.m., you can join us. So a lot of lawyers in town, please be nice to them. Because if you get into trouble, they are the ones who can bail you out.
Thank you.